Welcome to rucifail. I want to do a quick guide to crafting in vanilla or official DayZ servers. So, one of the first things you need is something sharp, like a knife or yeah, basically like a knife, something to cut up something with. So, easy way to find a knife if you've got nothing else. And you can search all the houses, you can do all that. But this is crafting. Come to the train tracks. Search along the train tracks. Here we go. Look at this. What do we got here? We got a stone, right? Take the stone. You only need one stone. Down here, I noticed there were some rocks. You take your small stone that you've gathered in your hand, and you go up to a rock like this, and bingo, craft a stone knife. And in no time at all, you've got a knife. And that's the beginning of your journey. Now I've got all these other things here. These are to show you, right? If you can't find a small stone, but you find a wrench, like what use is a wrench in this game? Like I could hit someone, I guess, or I could gather a small stone. So you go to a big stone with the wrench, like one of these big ones here. You hit it with the wrench, and you get a small stone. Can you do anything with it? Nope. But you can put that in your hand and craft a stone knife. What else? Can we do that with a hammer? Look at that. We can get a large stone. So we use a hammer like this, and we gather a large stone. Bingo, right? What do we do with the large stone? Well, we can split it. I did have the hammer in my hand. I'm not sure where it went, but it's showing that I can split it. I'm using the hammer. And guess what? I've got small stones now. Excellent. What can we use the screwdriver for? Look at that. I can gather a small stone. What about the big wrench? I can gather a small stone. If you can't make yourself a knife within the first 2-3 minutes of being in the game, you're going to be in trouble. Right. I've got my knife. Now what? Rags. I need to make rags. You can use rags as bandages, but you can also use rags to make gloves, hats, mouth coverings, anything you want. So, come in here. Quilted jacket. Quilted jackets you can't make rags out of. My mistake. So, let's find another one. Right. Collar dress. Whoever wants one of them? I do. I think they are the best piece of clothing in the game. Right? Because they make rags. Loads and loads of rags. And you often find a pristine. That one's worn. But you often find them pristine, right? So with the knife in your hand, you go over it, you can craft rags. You can even use a screwdriver to craft rags, right? But I'll use the knife to show you what you do, right? Craft rags. Now you got rags, 6 of them. What can you do with rags? All right, so in the bottom left there, I can craft improvised hand wrappings. I can get a head wrapping. Right, I can get feet wrapping, which are great for when you're on your shoes or you want to be super stealthy. I can create a face wrapping, and I can create a torso wrapping and legs wrapping. So I can make a full set of clothing from this set of rags, right? I can even get an eye patch, all right? I'll put them all together for you at one stage so you can see me looking like, I guess, some sort of a Egyptian mummy. But anyway, you can also craft an armband. You don't need anything else. So I think some of the crafting guys say you need a sewing kit and rags. You don't. You can just craft an armband. First thing I would do though is hand wrappings, right? I want to keep my hands clean. Bingo, use 2 of the rags. Next thing I would do is create a face wrapping. That will prevent you from getting sick of other players. And I think it also helps keep you warm. Bingo. Right, done. Last thing, I'd keep those 2 rags. They're emergency bandages. I have no bandages. If I get cut, I can use them. Okay, I can get an infection, but I'm not gonna die immediately. It gives me some time. The other thing you can do is I can disinfect those rags, or if they're pristine, you're even less likely to get an infection. Okay, next up, what are we doing? We need to make a knife another way. I'm in cami. And when in cami, I always find at least, there's dead bodies. All right. So here we go. A couple of likely survivors. Oh, and there's some guts and stuff too. All right, so how to make another knife? Well, I've already got a knife, but I've got a screwdriver as well, right? I can skin in the quarter, right? Bingo. There's even some bones there, but we'll show you here first, right? Skin and quarter. Bingo, right? Bones, whole pile of bones. Put them in my hands. What can I do? I can craft a bone knife, right? So let's craft a bone knife. Don't need anything else with it. Just pile of bones. I think you only need 2 bones to be able to do it. All right, so now I've got a bone knife as well. Excellent. What else can I do? All right, can I put the screwdriver with them? I can craft an improvised hook with a screwdriver, or I can use the bone knife to craft an improvised hook, create an improvised hook. This is how one survivor can become a fishing rod. Cool, so I got a bone hook, so I got a knife and a bone hook from them. What else now? All right, I'll use the knife and I'll go onto the guts and look, I can craft rope. Bingo, so now I've got rope. So I've got a knife, I've got a rope, and I've got a hook, right? Excellent. I'm gonna craft another piece of rope, and small guts. Not gonna worry about the human stakes. Right, 2 pieces of rope, excellent. Right, what can I do now? So I said I've got a fishing kit. How do I make a fishing kit? Find a long stick. Maybe over here. Right, go the long stick. Got a long stick, add to it a rope, and I can create, an improvised fishing rod. How good's this? Now I've got an improvised fishing rod. I've got room for the hook. What do you do? What do you need to do with that? Well, you get your knife, you look at the ground, and you dig up worms. So you get the hook in your hand, the worm in your hand, you combine them, you craft a fishing bait. Now you've got a bone fishing bait in your hands. You can pick up your fishing rod. You can put that on the end of it and you can go fishing, right? I've got a whole video on fishing. I've got a whole video on getting started. I'm just trying to concentrate on crafting this video, so I'm not going to go any further than that with this. All right. Now I've got that. I think I can even break it down. I'm not sure. Is it with one of these items? I think you can break it down. Maybe you have to take that off. Break it down again. So I get my rope back and I get the stick back. Cool, so I've got a long stick. Fantastic. Now, I've got a badly damaged stone knife and a long stick. Oh, actually, the stone knife, that was the bone knife. So I can combine that and I can either sharpen the stick itself, or I can split the stick, which will give me like short sticks, or I can craft an improvised spear. I can do the same with the stone. So I can sharpen, I can split, or I can craft an improvised spear. Let's craft an improvised spear. So now I've got a spear. And I can use that to attack people with, right? Easy peasy, poke them in the eye. Right, can I use the spear for anything? I haven't tried this myself. No, I can't. Right, can't put anything in the end of it. It is purely a weapon. But bang, ready to go. Cool. All right, there's that rope. So what else can I do with rope? I can tie a belt. Cool, so now I've got a rope belt. All I did was put it in my hand, selected tie rope belt. Now I can put that on. And you see, now I'll get a slot here where I can put a knife. I don't think it'll take the stone knife or the bone knife, but if I go find another knife now, that'll slot in there. So that gives me an extra, doesn't take up any space, like it keeps the knife out of my pockets. And it also means I'm always carrying a piece of rope that's not taking up slots either. So I've just saved myself maybe 6 slots in my equipment slots. So bingo, perfect. All right, what's next? We can continue and craft maybe a fire, right? So let's use that stick. Can I break that down? Do I need to put that in my hand again? Yep, so I can break it down again. So using a knife, I can break it down. I should get my stone knife back. Well, I'm not sure where the stone went, but I got the stick back. That bone knife is ruined. It doesn't last long. Right, so I take a long stick and I split it. Now I've got some short sticks. What I'll do is I'll just swap that out because I need another knife and I'm out of knives again. Now I could go get some more bones, make another bone knife. I've still got some on me, but you can even do it with 2 small stones together. Craft stone knife. So now I've got another stone knife. Bingo, great. I've got some sticks there. Okay, I need to light a fire. I can use a rag. Right, so I right click on the pile of rags and it splits them. Now I've got 1 rag. And I can get my knife as well in my hand, and I can get some bark. Right. So I've got a piece of bark as well. Right, now I want to create a fireplace. Now there's a few things you can do, right? I can just throw a rag on the ground and light it. So you can get matches, you can get a normal kind of cigarette lighter. That works fine, but I don't have either of that, so I'm going to craft a means to light the fire. So I've got the bark, and I put some sticks in my hands, and I can craft a fireplace, right? Or I can craft a hand drill kit. So I've just made a hand drill kit. Put that in my hands. I've got a rag lying on the ground, and you see, it's not even a fireplace. I can just ignite that rag. No, that's starting to burn. Doesn't look like much, but it is, right? Now, you see I've got all these slots here. I can drag those extra sticks straight into the stick slot. Bang, and my fire's going. Hey, how good's that? Right, I could go get my hammer. I could go back and get the large stones, and I can combine them. What I will do first, though, is I need some more short sticks and a long stick, so we'll grab them. Just grabbed a couple of long sticks. I'm gonna break one of them down into short sticks again, or split it. So I've got some short sticks, and I combine that with the long stick, and I craft a cooking stand. The advantage of a cooking stand is if you have a pot, which I don't currently have, but we can show you in a second, right? So now I've got the cooking stand, get closer to the fire. I put the cooking stand where it says cooking. Bang, look at that. Now if I had a pot, I can just hang that on the pot and that'll hang above the fire. So I don't need to use a sharpened stick to cook over with. As I said, I've done the getting started video previously, which shows cooking and all that sort of stuff. Right, cool. How do I improve this fireplace, right? This is making a lot of smoke, and it looks pretty basic, right? So you can improve it with some stones. So I will gather some stones now. All right, I've gathered a whole heap of stones now. I've stacked them all here on top of themselves. And if I come close to the fire, it's still there. I can add these stones into the upgrade. Here we go, down there where it says that, upgrade. But if I add, it says 16, but if I add 8 stones, start with, so just 8 stones, right? I can then, I'm pretty certain, build a stone circle. Right, so hold down on F. And then, there we go. Got a stone circle. Bingo. So I can upgrade with 8 more stones. So let me just go gather 8 more stones. All right, I've gathered some more large stones, so I come up to the fireplace and I can upgrade. Let's see if it'll let me upgrade. No, it won't let me upgrade them straight away. That must be because they are already in use, or maybe I'm too far away. No, so I think I've got to dismantle the first stone circle, which kind of makes sense because I am rebuilding it. So the stone circle doesn't add any extra functionality. It just kind of looks cool. It kind of makes your fireplace look more like a proper campsite. Cool. So there's 8 stones already in there. Now I can add the remaining 8 stones. That corpse over there is starting to smell. Right, 16 stones. So it says build stone circle, but I don't want to do that. I want to... You've got 16 of 16. I think I have to take this down as well, actually. I'll take the tripod down, right? I'll drop it down out of the way, right? And then, yes, build oven or a stone circle. So I've got those 2 options now. So I want to build an oven now. So I've done the stone circle, let's build an oven. The reason why I had to take the cooking stand down is you don't need it once you build a proper oven. Bingo, look at that. And you build an oven, now you've got room to smoke and you've got room to cook on top as well. Cool. Right, and what it does, whilst it doesn't hide the amount of light, or it does help with that, it definitely helps prevent the smoke going everywhere. So I will break this down, I guess, and make some more stuff. What do I need? A knife. So I've lost the long stick, I've only got short sticks now, but that's all right. Now I'll get some more bark. And I want to make a hand drill kit again. I want to light that fire. It'll need some more something to start it with, the kindling or something like that. I've got a rag left. You can use paper as well for this, but you can see all these things here for kindling. So you can use bark, paper, even a roll of bandages, or rags like I've got, right? And I'll ignite this. And you'll see once it's lit, and I only had 1 stick on it. I'll throw those other sticks on it. Right, now it's all going. And remember before, the fire that was in that exact fire before I built the oven on it, that smoke was shooting all the way up. So look at that. Not only do I not need to use a sharp stick to bake on it, right? I can smoke straight on top of it, which preserves food for longer. How good is that? At night, the light from that fire does shoot out in weird spots, and it will still come out the front, but it does restrict the light a little bit. But it's the smoke is a big advantage. You could be, somewhere not far away from other players, and they wouldn't even see the smoke. All right, what's next? I've still got a rope. There's a trick, and I've got the rope belt. There's something that isn't in any of the other guides that I found online that I've discovered. So I will just go to the beach, which is where I'll most likely find what I need. Right, so I'm here on the beach. You often spawn near the beach, and as you run along and you check out, these boats, see if anything's spawned. If you don't check out those boats, you really should be, because bingo, here we go. All right, dry sack. You think, that's great, I've got a dry sack. I don't really have room to carry it, and you can't really carry stuff in it. Well, you can carry stuff in it and put that in your inventory, right? Great, but now that's chewed up all of that space. And with upcoming updates, you won't be able to put your hammer, say, in a quick slot, put your bag in there. Oh, it's doing it here, so it's dropping away, right? So I can't even keep it in there and keep it in my quick slot, right? That's annoying. It is protecting it, it's keeping it dry, that's great. What you can do, though, is, let me just pick this up, because I don't think you can do it if there's stuff in it. You get a rope, right? And you can bind that with those dry sacks, right? You can do that in your hand as well, I think. See how it's got craft Drysack Bag. So you do that. And now this bag, which is kind of a bit of a nuisance, it's great once you're going along a bit. But look at this. You add a rope to it. Now you have a Drysack Bag. It's small, it's the same size, but look, drops on. And now you got that extra spot. You put it there, you put your hammer in there, it stays in your quick slot, right? And it's staying dry. Probably doesn't stay protected, like some things, if you put a bag within a bag inside stuff, it'll protect it from zombies and other players a bit better. But I've now just got myself, what, another 20 slots? 20 slots, sorry, yeah. 20 slots of storage, and it's not in my hands. Fantastic, right? How good's that? Okay, so you're running around, you find a burlap sack, right? What use are they? I think you can put them on people's heads. I don't know if you can put it on your own head, but you can, right? What you can also do with it, I'll untie my belt and I'll show you. So I untie the belt that I made from that rope. And then you combine the rope with the burlap sack and you can create a Burlap Courier Bag. Right, 30 slots. Better than that dry bag, right? Bang, let's go. Don't want to lose my hammer. So now I've got that. No, look at that. Fantastic. But I can make it even better. Gather some sticks. You need 3 short sticks. Right. You got those sticks. You got your courier bag. Put that in your hand. Grab your sticks. You only need 3 of them. I'll show you. We'll knock that down to 2. Right, so you got your 3 short sticks. You combine them and create a Burlap Backpack. Look at that, 42 slots. Quite a small little bag, quite well camoed. Still has the advantage of you can put your radio and your glow stick on it if you want to, right? How good's that? All right, there's a rooster here and you can get bones and meat from a rooster, pretty easy. Heavy punch. So that's holding shift while you punch. You can get a rooster pretty easy, right? You can even use your screwdriver if you don't have anything else to skin and quarter it. And that should give you some chicken breast that you can cook. So you've got all this food. You've got feathers. We can show you what to do with feathers as well. Got bones, can make a bone knife from that. You don't get guts though, so you can't make a full fishing rod kit, but look at that. We've got knives, we've got chicken. Right, we'll take a couple of pieces of the chicken. Right, what else do I want to show you? So, crafting bolts. Again, what do I need? I've got bones in my hands. Gather a long stick. Okay, so like I should have shown you that before. You can use that to sharpen your stick, right? And that's where you put the chicken to cook, right? Bang, right? Easy peasy. Can I break this down? Yes, I can. So sharpened stick, I'll break it down. I've got some short sticks. Use my knife again, combine it with it, and I can craft a bolt. This is for crossbows, right? These are crossbow bolts. Hold down. I had 3 sticks, so I can just keep holding down, and you'll see I'll probably create 3 crossbow bolts. Fantastic, right? Improvised bolts, ready to go, right? All well and good with the crossbow. They're not heaps accurate, but you can add feathers to a standard improvised bolt. You add some feathers. Hold down again. I had 3 improvised bolts, so it'll do it 3 times. 1, 2, 3. And now I've got improvised bolts, but they are improved. They've got the feathers, see? These are much more accurate. Right, so you can put them into a crossbow and stealthily kill players. Right. Right, water bottles. Take the hand. Never drink the water that you find. You never know what condition it's in. So you can scroll, get to empty, empty it. All right. There's the well back here with our fireplace. Fill the water bottle, right? Excellent. Done. What else can you use water bottles for? Well, you can combine them with a knife and you can craft a plastic fish bottle trap, or I think that's what it was called. Right, so we've got a small fish trap now. Now what we've got to do is find something to put in. Now I think I can put it in the ocean. Get in. Says deploy. That's not good, I'm underwater. Deployed that. Put a fish in it. Oh, earthworm in it, sorry. We'll keep an eye on it. We'll come back. So, what else can you do with water bottles? So, I've got another water bottle and I've got some duct tape. You can combine them. You can create a plastic suppressor. These aren't as good as real suppressors, but they do silence the gunshot. So now I've got that. Bingo. So I can put that onto nearly any gun that you find and it works as a suppressor. It's not a silencer, I guess, because it doesn't make it silent, but it works as a suppressor. Right, barbed wire. What can you do with barbed wire? So if you have a baseball bat, you can add it to it to make a barbed baseball bat. But what you can do is you can also use your pliers, combine it, and you just get normal metal wire. What do you do with normal metal wire? Well, you use that in base building, right? But what you can also do is you can create tripwires with it using sticks, and I'm pretty certain you can create a rabbit snare. And I have never successfully had a rabbit snare work. So let's get some short sticks. This is why crafting those wraps is so important, right? Keeps protecting my hand, stops me getting cut. I don't know how many I need. Right, so I've got some sticks. I'll combine that with the wire and I can create a tripwire or a snare trap. Let's create a snare trap first. Now they are meant to catch rabbits, is what I believe. I've never seen a rabbit in the official server, but let's give it a go. So I've got it here, it says choose placement. Let's give it a go. A bit like the fish trap. Looks pretty cool. We will run around and come back to that later. All right, so I want to set up a tripwire. So combine that. Let's craft a tripwire this time, not the snare trap. Tripwire in my hand. I want to put it in this door here. Let's see if I can deploy it. Look at that. All right. Got to get it so it's all white, put it in the right spot. That's looking good. Right, so now you've got a tripwire, and what you can do is you can attach a grenade to it. You can also attach a detonator for C4, and you can also attach like smoke grenades. So you can attach the smoke grenade to it like that, right? Now we'll go around. I'm going to use a smoke grenade because I'm going to trip over it myself. But the idea is that you can see someone would come up, they open the door, and they trip, and bang, it's going straight away. Right, tripwire's down. You could then pick that up, use it again for something else. Now, if you'd used a actual grenade or something like that, you would have got them. Sometimes just placing the tripwire so that they trip over it is enough to freak people out. And it slows people down. Like if they're rushing you and you manage to have a chance, you're staked out in a house and you manage to, you know, put one of them down. Even if you don't put anything on it, you probably got the upper hand if they try and sneak up on you. All right, make a noise. Trip over it. Done. From running around and getting wet from rain or even going in the water, you can see I've got the little icon down the bottom saying I'm wet. What you can do is you can dry yourself off at the fire like I showed you before, or you can also create what is called a torch. So with some rags and a short stick, you can create a torch, right? And that's got 6 rags on it. Fantastic, right? And I'll put that now on my back. In my hand. So I can light that up using matches or anything. We'll see if we can light it even. Put it on the ground, there it is. So I can light the torch with the matches. No, put that in my hands. Way to go, look at that. Now, that will give me a heat buff and it will dry out my clothes. Now, you can also use, if you don't have rags, I believe you can use fat. So human fat, combine that. No, look at that. Someone told me a lie. Okay, so you put the torch in your hand and you can upgrade with fat. I'm not sure what that does. Maybe it burns hotter, brighter, longer. I don't know. But it works like a torch in the sense that it lights up your surroundings at night. And you can see I'm dried off. And if I hold it for much longer, I will get a heat buff from it. Cool. And you won't burn yourself standing on it. So I've come to check on the rabbit trap and the snare trap, and it says I can take it or I can activate it. So it must have been tripped. But anyway, and I meant to put some bait in there. I wonder what you put in there. Maybe a piece of fruit. Let's try pudding. What do you know? Snare trap. Let's see how that goes. So it's been some time. Don't ask why I'm a different survivor. But I've come back to check and saw enough. Look at that. Got a rabbit. It's got a hare. I've had one of them before. But it badly damaged the snare trap, but there we go. There are rabbits in DayZ. Now let's go check the fish trap. And look at that, whole heap of sardines. And that trap is worn. So that's how those two work. So that's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed that one. All the crafting. As you can see, these rag clothes aren't possibly the warmest clothes that you can get, but there we go. Head to toe rag clothes. Hope you enjoyed that. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Cheers, guys.